This is the 8-inch Go spinner wheel from Go Power Sports, and it comes zip tied together. I got the zip ties cut off, and they'll take all your bag of hardware and be zip tied down. So got the part number on there too if you need it. AZ 1178 if you need hardware. And then we got their Michelin 350 by 8 and 2. So we're gonna get this assembled, just kind of mocked up. I'm gonna use their hardware that they sent with it. I might change it, put fancy acorn bolts in it, or I might just leave it. But for now, this is just, we're gonna mock everything up and then we'll go from there. So we've got 3 bolts and 3 nylon lock nuts. Or what I'm gonna do is get this tube in here in the tire first, because it's always kind of a fun trick to do. Walking it around here. These tires are be a little bit easier. Sometimes you get them tire and it's all kind of squished down from shipping. I usually leave them out in the hot sun. There, it seems like they're a little bit easier to work with, but these are gonna be pretty easy, I think. I say that since we're doing it on camera. Probably not. All right, got that laid in there pretty good. Sometimes you could take you a piece of cardboard and lay on the inside of this, make you like a sleeve so you don't pinch the rim putting this together. So, I usually take a little bit of dishwashing soap just to kind of help everything slide together and go right on the inside edge of this bead, just like so. Kind of helps it slide into place a little bit easier, so your rim halves aren't trying to stick to the rubber tire. Just like so. That'll be enough. We ain't got to get crazy with it. All right. Let's find out where my valve stem's at, where that's going to be located. And you got a notch right here in the edge of the rim in both halves. So I'm going to show you the other one. So that's where your valve stem's going to come through. So we're going to take that notch. Where did I lose it at? Let's see. Here it is right there. We're going to take that notch, line up that right over across the valve stem. Kind of walk this one side down in here. There we go. Easy not to pinch nothing. Just like so. Look at that. That dishwashing soap helps it get a little slippery. Alright, now here's where you want to take a little extra time and make sure you walk your tube around where nothing gets pinched. When you put your wheel halves together, make sure your valve stem's lined up in the other relation to the slot, which I think it's going to fit in there real good. Let's push this tube down here a little bit more so we don't pinch nothing. There we go. Like I said, you can take you a piece of thin piece of cardboard and lay on the inside of here, and so you don't pinch anything. I've seen some fellas do that before, and that's a pretty cool trick. Get down in there. All right, I think that's good. All right, we're going to use the other half in here. And it's got little notches on the inside of the rim, so you'll feel these tabs lock into place. And when you got those locked in and the rim halves locked together, that's when you know you got it locked into place. Make sure we don't pinch nothing. Tube looks good right there. Roll that. Let's see. Yeah. All right. No tube pinchage. All right, cool. We'll drop 3 bolts in it. And I'm going to hold both halves of the rim together, just like so. Put my thumb on it, get the nut started. That one started. See if I can do the same thing with the bottom one. And one more over here. All right. Everything still looks good. Rim halves are locked together. See if I can hold it up here and put a wrench on the back side. See, you got one more. handle that. All right, looks good. Now you can walk along here and make sure you're roll it around, make sure your tire's not pinched nowhere or your tube's not pinched, which everything looks good. All right, let me grab an air chuck. We'll shoot some air in it. Well, I can get it on there. A little more. A little more. All right, that's it. And like I said, whenever you order these, they'll come without bearings. So when you're placing your order, you can look in there and determine what axle size you have as to what bearings you'll need. They have a 5/8 by 1 3/8 dimension, and I think they have a 1/2 inch by 1 3/8. So when you're placing your order, make sure you figure out what size bearings you need, get your new bearings at the same time. I'm gonna set this to the side, grab the other one, and get it mounted up and get the drum on it. And we'll start putting these on the bike. Okay, this is gonna be the rear wheel assembly, and see if I can try to explain this to you in an easy way. Same spinner as the front, but you're gonna get this hub. This hub is this is the brake drum hub. You can also use the brake mechanism that goes on the inside of that, which is also, I think they sell it in a kit, or you can get that separate mechanism. But since I'm using a scrub brake, I'm gonna use the drum and mount the drum to this application, so I can also have the split sprockets. So when you get this drum, you'll get a bag of hardware with it, with nuts, bolts, spacers, whatnot. And some of it you will not need. So it kind of looks like, hey, what is all this stuff? It's real easy. So what you want to do is get your rim halves apart. And I did notice on the inside here, they put your max air pressure, which is 30 PSI, on the inside of your wheel. So thought I'd show that to you. But basically, when you get one of these hubs, it'll have a multiple variety of holes in it. So what I did is I already spun it over, and I put little black marks on it to know which application I'm using it for, because this hub fits different wheels that they sell. So that's why it's got all the holes. But basically what I did is I stuck it on there, and there's 3 little nipples that stick out on the spinner part right here. So I got that lined up. That's where it's gonna sit nice and flush. So what I'm gonna do is come from the back side, and you have the octagon shaped head, that's where your bolt holes, the head, or if you put it from the other way, your nut will actually hold in this insert, just like so. So this is what you're gonna do. Get that out of the way. You'll come through, make sure you got this good and level, and you'll take a 5/16 drill bit is what I'm using, and as I'm gonna drill out these 3 slots where the 3 little dimples are. So in that case, I can either take the bolt and run the bolt through the hole, through the hub, and put my nut on it, or if you wanted to more strength, you could drill out both halves, use the spacers with the long bolts, and run the bolt through both sides of the wheel into the brake hub. As of right now, I think what I might do is just do one side. I'm gonna mock it up, because I still have to take all this apart and powder coat the hub and everything else, since I'm not gonna have a brake drum in it. But that's basically what you do. You're just gonna drill out the 3 inside spots with 5/16 drill bits, what I'm using, because that's the size bolts they gave you. Drill those out, and that's what's gonna line up to adapt your hub to your wheel, just like so. So I'm gonna get to drilling, and we'll come back and get this thing put together, get the tire tube mounted up, and show you what it looks like. Okay, got it all mounted up. Flip it around here, you can see the nuts just went on the inside and hold in by the boss of the rim. Put your bolt in from the back side. So that's all you got to do to mount one. I might go back later, and I just got this mocked up. I might use some pretty fancy bolts, I'm not sure, but the stuff that they send you bolts right into place, just like so. Like all I did was go through with the 5/16 drill bit, drill these out. Make sure you keep them nice and straight. Use a 5/16 bit. That's what I used, and it fits the bolts. I put this in a little indicator, said it was 5/16 bolts. So make sure you drill your holes nice and straight, and everything will go together just like butter, just like you see it right there. So that's how it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, do the same thing I did on the front one, get the tire and tube mounted in it. I did find some bearings. I mic'd the back axle, and it was a 1/2 inch, so I found a bolt to mock up, but I only got 3 bearings, and I need 4. But at least I can get everything somewhat mocked up on the bike and see how the wheels look. So I'm gonna get that mounted. All right, I got everything kind of mocked up. I don't have bearings in the front wheels, but I did stick a shaft bolt in it, so it's pretty close, even though I don't have bearings in it. But I do have bearings in the rear wheel. Got a bolt in it, so that's where it's going to be positioned. And got my fancy bike lift here, which is actually a car jack with a piece of C-channel welded onto it, in case y'all want to know what that is. So I got this dropped all the way down where the tire is sitting on the table. So that's going to be the ride height. It's going to look pretty good. I just think this fender up here, that's kind of where it goes, which needs to be up off the tire a little bit. Then I thought, well, this 8-inch wheel looks pretty close to this engine plate. So I put this motor I had just sitting around, I put it up there. Look, we almost had the same problems we did last time. Tire hitting the motor. So, didn't want to cut the engine plate out. I wanted to leave it where it's at, because almost every ARCO is a dead giveaway. When you look at them, you always have this nice rectangle right here at the front. So this one's actually probably going to have a shorter rectangle in it, because I'm going to cut the engine plate out. The engine plate is good, the slots. So back to the cutting table, and looks like I'm going to cut the engine plate out so we have enough room for engine clearance. But anyway, this is why you mock everything up first, because this could have been a problem down the road for sure. But I did decide to go ahead and leave the rear axle in its original position instead of lowering the back of the bike and drilling another hole up higher, which would have brought the bike down more. I went ahead and said I'm just going to leave it right where it's at. After I got it up here, I think the bike has a pretty good rake to it. So, and actually the front end will come up just a little bit more, you know, maybe 1/2 inch time I get bearings in it. So I'm going to get this motor back off, get the wheels back off of it, and take it out to the table and start cutting. All right, I went ahead and got the engine plate removed from the bike. Got a few spots ground down, and I went ahead and hit the bike with some paint stripper because it was pretty filthy, to get all the grease and everything off, and then got majority of the paint off so we can have a good clean surface when we start mocking everything up and getting everything welded back up on the bike. We're going to call that a wrap for now, and we'll see you back on the next video when we start mocking everything back up, get the engine plate in line and all that good stuff. So anyway, make sure and hit the like and subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. We'll see y'all fine folks on the next video. Y'all take care.